धन्यवाद पाठक जी। अब आपके मित्र हैं श्री श्री कुमार जी। तो पाठक जी ने जो बात कही है उसके अतिरिक्त कोई नई बात कहना चाहे तो श्री कुमार जी से मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा, और उसके बाद श्री अशोक सिंह से मैं अपने विचार व्यक्त करने की रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा, दरखास्त करूंगा। श्री कुमार जी, अगर आप कोई एडिशनल पॉइंट कहना चाहते हैं तो कहिए।
कुछ पॉइंट्स है सर। Respected Secretary Saab, I would like to emphasize here that so far as the corporatization of the ordnance factories are concerned, the entire workforce, chairman may not be opening his mind to DGOF and chairman, but right from DGOF and chairman to down below, I believe that the entire workforce of the ordnance factories have come to a conclusion to reject the corporatization of the ordnance factories. Because the writing is on the wall. We all know what happened to Royal Ordnance Factories of Britain, which is the mother of the Indian ordnance factories. When Thatcher was the Prime Minister in 1984, it was converted into a corporation. Today it is finished. And another writing on the wall is the Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited, which Pathak ji has very categorically mentioned. And over and above that, in the same announcement when the Finance Minister, in the name of Atmanirbhar Bharat, announced that government has decided to corporatize the ordnance factory, she has also told there will be only 4 PSUs in the strategic sector. Assuming that defense is a strategic sector, there are already under you, there are 9 PSUs. And according to the RFP issued by you for appointing the consultant, you have stated corporation or multiple corporations. So we do not know how many corporations it is going to be. You are already having 9, and even if it is 1, it becomes 10. If it is 5, it becomes 14. Like that it goes on. So which will remain with you? Which will not remain with you? Nobody knows. And government has taken a very clear decision. Public sector will be privatized. And you are, if at all the government, I do not know, today, tomorrow, any time, you know, it is, as Mr. Pathak has told, the power is with you. The government is having majority in parliament, they can decide. That is up to the government. But ultimately, the government themselves have declared a policy that no private sector, no public sector will be there in the government. Maybe 1 or 2, and we do not know which 1 or 2 will remain. This is my first point. And that is why employees are outright rejected this. And 99.9% workers have voted in favor of an indefinite strike against this decision of yours. Then second thing, it is not that first time this corporation has come. In the very same conference hall where you are sitting, and also in the other 2 conference halls of the South Block, we had a series of discussions with at least 4 ministers. Late Mr. Jack Fernandez, our former Rashtrapati who was Defense Minister, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, followed by Mr. A.K. Antony, and of course the late Manohar Parrikar. All have given written assurance ordnance factories will not be corporatized. Now you have violated that. That assurance has been violated by the government without even showing a minimum courtesy to inform to the employees' federations. You have violated that. Second thing, Parliamentary Standing Committee, which we have got highest regards because they study the entire defense requirement of the country. Parliamentary Standing Committee also recommended ordnance factories cannot be converted into a public sector because of so many reasons. You have restricted my time, so I am not going into the details. You please go through the Parliamentary Standing Committee recommendations, which have told because of fluctuation of workload and because the country has to maintain a war reserve, idle capacity, the question of ordnance factories becoming a corporation is ruled out because ordnance factories are not a commercial organization. It is not for minting profit. It is like the 4th force of the defense of the country. If you can maintain 13 lakh strong army, navy and air force, I don't find any problem for you to continue the ordnance factories in the government department which is producing, which is a result-oriented organization. You will appreciate that more than 70% of the workforce, by punching their attendance, they will not get the salary because they are on a piecework system. Every month, the first working day of the month, his salary starts from zero. Whatever he produced, that only he will get. Even his basic pay is linked with the production, his performance. In any central government department in our country, it is not there. Now coming to the subject of restructuring, sir, we have come to this meeting because you have used the phrase restructuring of ordnance factories. If it was corporatization, sorry, we must have stayed away from it, because we are not going to be a party for your decision if at all you decide to make it a corporation. We have come because you have called us for a restructuring. So what is this restructuring? Prior to 1980, in our detailed letter, that is what we have mentioned in our letter. That letter is our voice. It is the voice of 82,000 employees that has to be recorded in the minutes of today's meeting. Unfortunately, when the other associations, when they attended the HLOC, you published a press release. Whatever you told is reflected, but whatever they told is not reflected. That we doesn't want to have that type of a situation today, sir. So whatever we want to say, that we have told in writing, that has to be recorded. Now, restructuring. 1980 ka pehle, there was no Ordnance Factory Board. There was a DGOF and some 2 or 3 additional DGOF looking after certain responsibilities. The same government appointed Justice Rajadhyaksha Committee. That committee recommended for converting DGOF into an Ordnance Factory Board with the chairman and some members and with a lot of responsibilities and powers. Yes, I do agree. That was 40 years before. We are in 2020. Definitely, a study has to be conducted to suit today's requirement, today's technology, today's modernization, today's requirement of the armed forces, today's change in the management system throughout the world. Definitely. And we are prepared. That is what my President, Mr. S.N. Pathak, has told. Please go for an expert committee. And restructuring is what? Restructuring is for improvement in the existing structure. Restructuring is for betterment. Restructuring is for improving efficiency. Restructuring is for more accountability of the top management of the Ordnance Factory Board. Restructuring is for improvement of productivity and quality. Restructuring is for customer satisfaction. Restructuring is to convert the Ordnance Factory into a world brand arms manufacturer, defense equipment manufacturer. This is the restructuring. Is the government prepared for that? Please constitute an expert committee. We will associate with them. We will come forward to join. But corporatization is not the solution for that, sir. It cannot be the solution. And I wanted to know from you, you are a very senior administrative officer of this country. I wanted to know from you, I have also completed 42 years as an industrial worker of this organization and working in this federation. I am the leader of your Ministry of Defence Departmental Council, JCM. How many times we must have climbed up and down in the South Block. I am just asking you, with my knowledge, with the group of rules and regulations, which rule of the government, which law of the government prevents the government of India to empower the Ordnance Factory Board at par with the public sector? As a government department itself, which rule is going to prevent? You can always empower Ordnance Factory Board. No, there is no rule, there is no act, according to my understanding and knowledge, sir, which prevents you from empowering the Ordnance Factory Board with whatever powers available with the public sector to the ordnance factories. Are we not a war, sir? Kargil, Vijay Divas we have celebrated. Everybody has saluted the Jawans. Tears came in my eyes because I am one of the workers who worked day and night during Kargil crisis. It is we supported the army at that time because we had a war reserve. We supplied everything. It is not Sri Kumar's version. Please go through the records of the Indian Parliament. In the joint session of the Indian Parliament, the late President K.R. Narayanan, in his own voice, he has recorded, he has spoken. It is the ordnance factories which has come to the rescue of the Indian Army to fight the Kargil war. They have doubled their production within a short period. Anybody appreciated us? The nation saluted us. Then, Please go through the statement made by VP Malik, General, the then Army Chief. He told, when no private sector, when no foreign vendors came to the support, when no foreign company was prepared to provide us with armed equipments to fight in such a high terrain, it was the ordnance factories who gave us protective clothing, who gave us battlefield dress, who gave us tent, who gave us tank, who gave us ammunition, who gave us everything. And nobody saluted us on the day of this Kargil Vijay Divas. Therefore, sir, this is not the way you would treat the ordnance factories. Please don't destroy this organization. And why war reserve? Peace reserve. Peace reserve, I am telling you. When the COVID-19 crisis came, India was without a personal protective equipment. Not even a medical mask was available. One fine morning, the general manager of OCF, from where I served, gave me a card. Chairman has given me a card. Whole country is on lockdown. No transport. Mr. Sri Kumar, you have to ensure. OCF is given the responsibility. OCF Avadi is given the responsibility of manufacturing coverall, medical mask, non-medical mask. You have to cooperate. You have to motivate the workers. They should come and work. Have we not done? Chairman is sitting in this conference. Let him tell. Have we not worked? Day and night our workers have worked. Coveralls, lakhs and lakhs of masks. Because you have a capacity here. And what you have told? Dismantle these capacities. Because you have declared the clothing factory items as non-core. Dismantle this. Suppose you must have dismantled. Who must have produced this protective equipment, sir? You should appreciate that. Therefore, ordnance factories are not only war reserve. Ordnance factories are equally peace reserve also. No private sector. If you corporatize it, we all know this will be privatized within a short period. The entire ordnance factories will be destroyed. No patriotic citizen will accept this. No, the private company, they invest money for profit. Everybody, if at all you make it corporation, people will purchase the share for what? This ordnance factory has got 1 lakh crore worth of assets. 1 lakh crore. 62,000 acre land. Plant and machineries. Yes, the eagle eyes of the crony capitalist of the private sector is there. The corporate sector is there. Grab the ordnance factories. The poor soldier will suffer, sir. We 80,000 employees, we will become beggar in the street. And government will be happy to see us begging in the street. We know what will happen. But have you thought about that soldier? That poor soldier? Who will equip him? Who will take care of him? Every private company will earn only profit. And when that situation comes, they will not come to your rescue. That is why Indira Gandhi, why she has, nationalized these Caltex and the petroleum companies. They supplied it to Pakistan during the Pakistan war. They have not supplied to India. And that is why Caltex, Burma Shell, all these oil companies, Madam Gandhi has nationalized. Everything has got an history. Somebody has branded some vested interest. Very correctly Mr. Patak has told. Many retired army generals are in the payrolls of the private sector. Writing everything against the ordnance factories. Yes, you know, some retired ordnance factory officer, including an ex-chairman, is carrying a bag with him and running like a medical representative for those companies. They are all responsible. They spoiled this organization. It is not the workers. It is not the workers. Ordnance workers are blamed. वो 3 घंटा काम करता है, 3 घंटा काम करने में हमारा earnings नहीं आता सर. All along in my life I am an industrial worker. I am an industrial worker. You have to work out of 8 hours, minimum 7 hours you have to work to earn your earnings, to earn your wages. No, these people who are writing, have they ever visited any ordnance factory? You go to ordnance factory Ambajari, sir, when it is in the month of May, outside the temperature will be 44. Inside the temperature of the furnace shop is 55 degrees Celsius. Every half an hour he has to take Nimbu Pani and he has to work in Ambajari factory. This is the condition. This is our condition. How many workers have died in accident while performing our job? Any compensation other than what is available for other government employees? Even during this COVID-19, 19 factories worked. They produced sanitizer. The Medak factory has repaired hundreds of ventilators for the government of Telangana. Anybody appreciated? Only the vested interested group is putting pressure on the government. Ordnance factory बहुत अच्छा तरीका से काम करने के लिए इसको आप कॉर्पोरेटाइज करो, उसको मार्केट में, शेयर मार्केट में लिस्टिंग करो, इसको खत्म करो. Please sir, no patriotic citizen should accept this. No patriotic citizen should accept this. If 4 ministers, they are all patriotics. Can anybody doubt the patriotism of Mr. Jaat Fernandez? Pranab Mukherjee sir? A.K. Anthony? Manohar Parrikar? How they have rejected the recommendations of the so-called expert committees to corporatize? How parliamentary committee has not accepted the not accepted for corporatizing? Therefore, my humble request to you is, sir, we are very grateful you have called us. HLOC, we have taken a decision not to attend unless the terms of reference is amended. Sir, up to today, 13 representations we have submitted, jointly by AIDF, INDWF and BPMS. SIDRA has also represented. There is not even a minimum courtesy for the government to reply for that, to acknowledge that letters. We are all recognized by Government of India after proper membership verification. We have a constituent. Everybody has got their own membership. We are answerable to them. We are not selected by UPSC. We are elected. People vote for us. And as in a democratic setup, we are answerable to our constituents. 13 letters we have written. The DDP has not bothered even to write a one-line reply for us. Are we written something rubbish? These are all documents. These are all the reflection of our heart. Whatever document we have prepared is not a novel, not fiction. These are all each and every letter has come from the bottom of our heart. Therefore, sir, as my president has finally suggested, please don't go ahead with the proposal of corporatization. Usko withdraw kariye, aap ek expert committee constitute kariye. Within the present setup, you are restructuring the improvement in the performance of ordnance factories, improve the efficiency, improve the productivity, improve the quality, take the customer into confidence, customer satisfaction. We are with you. We are with the Government of India. You may convey these feelings to the Honorable Prime Minister and to the Defence Minister, and you are our chief. We work under you, and with full confidence in you, with full faith in you, our humble request is, sir, please go back to the Honorable Prime Minister and apprise him about all our feelings. Tomorrow he should not say that nobody has brought these facts to my notice. No bureaucrat has told me what is happening in the ordnance factories. Only because of the advice given by the bureaucrats, I have corporatized the ordnance factory. Such type of a statement should not come. So all of us are equally responsible. Please take our sentiments. These are all not sentiments. These are all a concern for a 219 years pioneer defense industry. This industry has to be protected. This industry should not be handed over to some petty crony capitalist or some private corporates, and they will sell it and they will go away. The army will suffer. That situation should not come, because initially you have told in the border, both the sides are facing face by face. Our Jawans should be fully equipped. Our Jawans' morale should be increased. And we, as I told you in the Kargil crisis behind the curtain, we have done that job. Please allow us to do that. Please motivate us. Please encourage us. Please be our mentor for working for the defense of our country. Please do not corporatize. If government go ahead with that decision, then as a trade union, sir, we are left with no other option than to go for our trade union action, whatever the workers have given us a mandate. So I hope you will view the written document given by us late evening yesterday, and whatever myself and my president have expressed and the other speakers are going to say, and I am confident when you conclude this meeting, you will be concluding with a positive note. Thank you.